Five Nights at Freddy's is full of characters, all varying in terms of morality, and today we'll be ranking them. We're going to be ranking spirits and animatronics as separate entities since we don't know how much control the children's souls have over their mechanical bodies. So with that in mind, let's begin. The gold medal of good goes to the lovable dad bear Glamrock Freddy. Throughout his appearance in Security Breach, he does nothing sinister and only tries to help Gregory escape and hide from the other animatronics. He is kind and protecting and very deserving of the #1 spot. The silver medal of good goes to Susie. She was the first. She's seen everything. Susie is an innocent child like many other characters in the series who meet their untimely demise at the hands of the serial murderer William Afton. But what separates her from the rest is her tragic backstory. Susie is lured by Afton to her death with the promise of seeing her deceased dog. She's an innocent soul who only wants to see her dog again, and her death is easily the saddest one in the series. The bronze medal of gold goes to the other missing children, minus a few. The missing children are simply innocent souls like Susie who meet their end at the blade of William Afton. We don't get much more character to them than that. In fourth place is the Crying Child. Crying Child is a simple boy who is tormented by his brother Michael until he meets an untimely death caused by him. We don't see Crying Child much before he dies, but we see that he's an innocent child who's clearly suffering. In fifth place we have Elizabeth Afton. Being the daughter of a serial killer, she's a surprisingly sweet child. She does demonstrate her fair share of disobedience though, which is what ends up getting her killed. 6 is Tape Girl from FNAF VR. Tape Girl is a beta tester who encounters the glitch trap virus and tries to destroy him. She seems to have a desire to do the right thing, but not much else is really seen from her. Next up is Gregory, the child we play as in Security Breach. Gregory is a simple child, no different than the rest, but he does have a bit of sass, an excess of sarcasm, and a passion for destroying sentient robots. In 8th place we have Charlotte Emily, the daughter of Henry. Charlie was locked out in the rain by bullies where Afton was able to kill her without any witnesses. She's an innocent child who was slaughtered out of petty vengeance, but we rank her a little bit lower than the other missing kids because she clearly seems to be much more aware and in control of her actions as the puppet. Our second animatronic character on the list is the son side of the daycare attendant. The son is an eccentric being who only wants to play and have fun with the kids at the Pizzaplex. He warns Gregory not to turn off the lights because he doesn't want to harm him, but if the lights go out, he'll have no control over it. He can be a bit annoying and indirectly harms us, but at heart he simply wants to keep the kids safe. 10th is Cassidy, the vengeful spirit. Another innocent victim of William Afton. What separates her from the rest of the kids is her immense bloodlust for William Afton, once she has him trapped. We don't count points off for wanting to torture her killer, anyone would, but based on the man in room 1280 from Fazbear's Frights, it is more than likely because of her that Afton was able to be kept alive. Next on the list is the kind-spirited Henry Emily. Henry is a simple man who only wanted to bring joy to children. He cares greatly about his daughter Charlie and devises the plan that destroys all remaining animatronics. The thing weighing Henry down is that he was blind. He couldn't see that his partner William was behind all the murders in this establishment, and he wasn't watching his daughter, allowing her to be taken and killed by Afton. He also unknowingly helped create William's murder bots and created faulty springlock suits. But all of his crimes were committed by accident, so we can't get too mad at him. Phone Dude is a chill and laid-back guy. He works for a corrupt business that makes a mockery out of the death of children, but he's mainly harmless. Phone Guy is a bit more guilty than his Surfer Bro counterpart, seeing as he helps to cover up Fazbear Entertainment's atrocities. Finally, rounding out the good list is Michael Afton. Michael is probably the most complex character in the entire series, and he was very difficult to rank. On one hand, he is clearly a brave, dedicated, and kind person, wanting to help free the children's souls and end his father's reign of terror. However, we do need to address the big purple elephant in the room, that being that he accidentally killed his little brother after endlessly bullying him. Sure, Michael feels profusely guilty and does everything he can to try and fix his mistake, even dying in the process, but regardless, manslaughter is gonna have to bring our favorite corpse man a few points down. Starting off the gray area is Vanessa. Vanessa is Afton's apprentice and the killer rabbit lady in Security Breach. However, it's clear that these actions are not completely of her own will, and she is heavily being influenced by Glitch Trap. Next on the list are the Phantom animatronics. We don't really know if these guys are even real, but if they are, then they are causing Michael great difficulty and making him much more vulnerable to Springtrap's attacks. Our next slot is filled with several animatronics. This slot goes to every animatronic that has canonically not killed or grievously injured anyone, but has tried to. These animatronics want to kill for one reason or another, usually revenge on Afton, but we don't rank them quite as evil, seeing as that they don't really hurt anyone. Next for the gray area is a tie between Roxanne Wolf and Montgomery Gator. These two Glamrocks are particularly nasty. They're just like any other animatronic, but they are narcissistic, full of anger and violence, and are incredibly aggressive and bloodthirsty, so we rank them just a little bit lower. Finally, closing off the gray section is whichever animatronic was responsible for the bite of 87. It's theorized to be either Mangle, Toy Chica, or Toy Bonnie. One of these animatronics bit into an innocent night guard's brain and removed many of his basic functions, even paralyzing him and making life significantly harder. They also likely indirectly traumatized everyone that was in the room at the time. Our bronze medal of evil goes to the FNAF 1 gang. One of these animatronics is responsible for the death of Phone Guy, making them some of the only known animatronics in the game series to have successfully ended someone's life. Speaking of ending lives, the silver medal of evil goes to the Funtime animatronics. All 4 of these robots are despicable, crazy, and violent. Together, we know that they've at least killed 4 people and clearly had no issue with it then or in the future during FNAF 6. What's scary about them is how aware and intelligent they really are compared to the rest of the robots. -1. And speaking of that one, in first place, to nobody's surprise, we have the purple guy, William Afton himself. Where do I even begin? This guy has killed somewhere around at least 15 children directly and indirectly in the game's canon. He was indirectly responsible for all of his own children's deaths, and he stabbed his best friend in the back and caused an enormous amount of agony not just for him, but for so many other innocent people. He's a foul and evil creature, and he no doubt takes the cake for the most evil character in the Five Nights at Freddy's franchise. So with that being said, did you agree with the rankings? Leave a comment below and let me know.